look at two types of the public speaking. You have the presentation and then MC. And then before we go there, we were looking at the general rules of public speaking. Where I spoke of language, having command over the English language, or the Hausa language, or probably the Twi language, whichever language you are using to communicate. Ensure that you are very good at it. I mentioned that the command over the language is not enough. You have to have clarity. When you speak, people must hear you. People must be able to hear you without struggling. The very moment you let people struggle to hear you, then they move out. They will not listen to you at all. And the second one is content. For you to have a very good time as a public speaker, ensure you have very good content. I mentioned that each time that you are given the chance to speak in public, assume that you are the best at the subject. And the reason is that when you assume you are the best at the subject, when you are talking, you don't have the fear that someone will think you don't know what you are doing, right? That's the second one. And then the third one is appearance, your dressing, and then your composure. When you are speaking in public, whichever field that it is, make sure you dress for the occasion and make sure your composure speaks for you. The exercise we did earlier is very simple. It's for us to have a preliminary exposure to speaking in public. And if you ask me, I would say, for every single person that came here, I would rate you 5 and above. You guys did so well. Clap for yourselves. I'm really proud. It means we've passed the first stage of speaking in public. We are public speakers. What then is left is for us being effective public speakers. For most people, they knew what they were saying. Someone came here and was holding the mic like this, which doesn't exude confidence. Someone came and the mic was somewhere here, which kind of hindered the clarity of what he or she was saying. Someone had a very strong message, but the language was the problem. However the case may be, your problem is peculiar to yourself. You know it. So identify it and work on it. A while ago, someone contacted me and asked me that, in fact, quite a couple of persons would ask me that, how can I perfect my English language? It's something that I also asked. I'm still learning, but then I'm very certain that I am not where I used to be. Someone asked that question and then I gave that particular guidance. So if yours is the language, ensure you find help when speaking in public. And I must say all of you did exceptionally well. That's great. And then the last one I would say is gestures. As far as the general rules of speaking in public is concerned, gestures. You see, sometimes, if not most of the time, our gestures speak more than what we are saying. Our gestures, how we hold the mic, how we operate our hands. You came here to tell us your favorite subject. And I was surprised that your hands are just beside you, or probably you were like this or something. When you are speaking before people, remember, I said, it is so easy to be a public speaker. But then being an effective public speaker is where the work lies. I said, and observe what I'm saying, it is very easy to be a public speaker, but being an effective public speaker is where the work lies. Now you realize how the gesture is going or moving. I am making a point. I want to emphasize a point. My gesture must go with it. I have a point to make. And then I mentioned the main point. I want to stress a point. Remember I said earlier that it's not just about being a public speaker. It's about being an effective public speaker. So that is where it comes in. My gestures go beyond just moving my hands, but my tonation. I'm making a point. And the point is something very important to me. You see the stress I brought on the very important. It will keep you here. I know to some extent some people here might be tired or might not be tired or might feel kind of dizzy or something. But then how you interact with them will let them stay with you or they would leave. This very same thing I'm doing, someone would come and stand here and then speak and they're not putting their energy on you, and then you might probably feel very lazy and then you zoom out. You zoom out. You realize the gesture, you zoom out. your gestures must certainly move along with what you are saying. They shouldn't be too far apart. I hope I'm making sense. So whatever you are saying, whatever thing you plan to say, ensure that it goes with your gestures. When you are saying your tonation, if it is up, let it go up. If it's down, let it come down. So it is something all of us can improve upon, but it takes time. It takes a bit of time. So some basic gestures that we can learn is that when you are making a very important point, make sure you raise your tone up a bit. Ensure people understand that. And if you can, make a pause and then explain it again. At this point that I'm explaining the gestures, I am still using the gestures to explain them. I don't know if you've noticed. So you make a very important point. Mainly you make it, try to pause and then explain it again. I said, gestures are very important when you are speaking in public. I've repeated what I've said earlier. But once you explain to people, you have to let them understand that gestures are not just how you move your hands, but then how your tonation also moves. It's very important. Now, one thing I'd like to add with the gesture is energy. As a public speaker, your energy that you possess is what you give to the people that are listening or watching you. The energy that you possess. If I come and stand here, what I'm doing is that, yes, I get it. Public speaking is very easy. I mean, if you start speaking one at a time, maybe a day or two, you speak for several hours at different programs. Yes, you can be a very good public speaker. I mean, I've seen people that are good at that. Very soon, under 10-15 minutes, people will zoom out. But then when you let them know that what you are saying is very essential and that they have to listen, they will listen. They will pay attention to you because you are putting your energy on them. And you don't see what I'm doing in most people because we have lots of people that are public speakers around, and we have very few effective and great public speakers. That's what I want you to be. I remember the Pareto principle. For every circumstance, we have about 80% of people that are below the bar. Just about 20 are above. So for you to be at that 20 level, it involves work. It involves a lot of sacrifices. It involves a lot of putting in the work and doing the right thing. I hope it's clear. So these are the things that I can say as far as general rules of public speaking is concerned. I hope you are putting something together because I said you will come and present to me what you've learned as far as what we are doing is concerned. Now quickly, let's tackle, before I move on to that, all these things, all these put together gives you this. All that I've said, every single thing that I've mentioned gives you this. For most people, they think that confidence is something that you would have to isolate and build. No, it's a byproduct when you have all these stuffs. So if you want to exude confidence, you have to check your language. You have to be very clear. Your content must be massive. You should know what you are saying. Your appearance should be spot on. And then your gestures should be apt. Without one of these things, you would have a problem. There was a time I went to MCA program, and trust me, what I wore, I was not so much confident in it. I only depended on experience to have a very good day, trust me. And that is because for every single moment, I paid attention to what I was wearing. And that affected me to some extent. But because I, to some extent, have emceed a lot of programs, I relied on the experience. So anytime you are going to have a public speaking engagement, write these down and ensure that you take them, ensure you have them. Especially the dressing part, trust me. If you are not so much confident in what you are wearing, don't wear it. it can completely put your day off. Ensure you have something very good to put on when you are going to speak in public or whatever. So all this will give you the confidence that you need. Now, what are some of the fears when it comes to public speaking? For most people, it is not the public speaking itself that is their problem, but the fear of public speaking. So this is what I'm going to do. I'll take some of the points from you and then I'll explain them. Then we move on. So fears of public speaking. Yes, who is going to give me one? Yes. Public speaking. Yes, please. My colleagues will laugh at me. I'm sure that is the number one. All right, I'm coming. Please write it down. Yes. Lack of preparation. Okay, lack of preparation. Fear of public speaking. We look at that. So the first one is that my colleagues will laugh at me. Lack of preparation. Okay, the next one. Fear of making a mistake. Yes. Come again. Being nervous. Yes, that's great. Yes, please. Lack of good mindset. Exactly. Yes. We just learned about clarity, so I wouldn't accept that you talk that I can't hear. Speak so well so that everyone can clearly hear you. Okay, hearing your voice in the mic, that's also a fear. Fear of being judged, yes. Fear of big audience, that's true, yes. Someone said fear of being turned into a meme, which is of course a possibility. So of all these fears, I want to tackle, I'll take them generally one by one. The first one that I think it is much of a concern to most people is the fear of making mistakes. The fear of making mistakes. I don't really know if there is anyone on this earth that speaks in public that never makes a mistake. I wonder. If you ask me, one of the great public speakers I know is Jim Rohn. And recently I was listening to one of his lectures. And it was so surprising that he made some sort of mistakes that a beginner wouldn't make. But then he's a human, and therefore he would make the mistake. So for each person sitting here, let fear be your friend when you are going to speak in public. Say to yourself, I don't care. Say to yourself, I don't care when I make a mistake. Recently, I emceed the program, and I was supposed to say today, I said tonight. I only heard the tonight after I said it. But it is normal, I'm a human, that's why I make a mistake. So it is normal. Fear of making mistake is the hindrance of you never improving upon your public speaking. So how can you then ignore the fear of making mistake? It is simple. Start from the mind. I said the very act of saying that I don't care if I make a mistake is one great step to you avoiding or preventing that fear. Trust me. Say I don't care. If I make a mistake, what happens? I learn from it. That very statement will shock you and it helps so much. I remember the very first time back at SHS, on Mondays, Christians have the chance to come before the entire populace of the school and then give a verse from the Bible and explain. And on Fridays, we have that of Muslims as well. Quran verse and then you explain. It was my first time to do it. And usually when you are going, you go with somebody who recite the Quran and then another person to translate. I decided that I would go alone. I wanted that fear to move away. And when I went there, trust me, my legs were so much wobbling. I can't explain. Like, it was that serious. But I didn't care. From that very moment, I lost it. There was no fear again. And that is the thing. I learned one thing from the great men I read from. They say, you see, that thing that It's about your development. That when you think of doing, you are so much afraid and tensioned by. That is what you should do. Because if you don't do it, you will not move away from that fear. It will keep on tormenting you. At the very moment you do it for the first time, tell your mind that it is no longer something I fear. The next time you want to try it again. For those that give announcements here after Isha, for your first time, I know you know how it felt. Ali can testify to that fact. It is very simple. What you are going to say is that after our Nawafil prayers, everybody is having a meeting and some few announcements. But trust me, your first time will seem like a battle. You might even lose all the words that you want to say if you don't take care. But after that first time, subsequently, you become very okay. So making mistakes are normal as far as public speaking is concerned. What then you have to do is that you have to look at the mistakes and then improve upon them. The one that does not benefit from making a mistake is the one that doesn't learn from it. So for me, for every single speech that I give, probably except this one, my name is recording, I record myself, go back, sit somewhere. If it's an hour lecture, I listen to every single thing I said. I put down every single mistake I do and make sure I improve upon it. If you are not ready to do that hard work, then you keep on making the mistakes. Be normal with it. You are coming to give announcements here, put your phone on recording. You come after the announcement, you go back there, listen to yourself. What was the problem I was having? What was the challenge? What did I do wrong? And then you improve upon it next time. So the very way you can correct or improve upon the fear of mistakes is that have the courage, make the mistake, learn from it. It is a loop. Okay? Have the courage, do the thing, make the mistake, learn from it, and then it begins again. Do the thing, make the mistake, learn from it. Do the thing, make the mistake, learn from it. And then over time, you realize that you are becoming very good at the skill. Remember all that I said. None of them happen over time. The second one, you fear that someone will laugh at you. Trust me, when you are standing before people and you are talking, the one speaking, that individual speaking, if you are excluded, about 98% of the people listening to you can never do what you are doing. Trust me. And this I'm saying from experience. If you are speaking before people, if it's in a class and you are 100, just about 90 of them can do what you are doing. So why are you afraid that they will laugh at you? If even they themselves, when they come, they can't do it. You get the thing? So forget about them. It is your self-improvement over someone laughing at you. Which one would you choose? If you think that someone laughing at you is so important than you becoming the better version of yourself, as far as public speaking is concerned, the choice is yours. So you make the right choice. Ensure that you prioritize you being a better public speaker than someone laughing at you. It doesn't matter. People laugh at us all the time, but then when the time comes up for someone to speak in public on a subject, they know who to call because they know they can't do it. They don't have the evidences to prove to themselves that they can do it. So show yourself. I said when we were beginning that prove to yourself with evidences. Speak, talk, okay? So that when it comes that you are going to speak in public, you give yourself the chance. No, I'm good at the thing. I can do it because I have done it before. And you can do it because if you do it consistently, it becomes a part of you. There's this beautiful concept I learned from building a habit. So when you are building a habit in the first place, it has to be intentional. Your conscious mind should be part of it. It has to be intentional. Because the conscious mind can only concentrate or focus on one thing at a time. So when you want to build yourself as far as public speaking is concerned, in the meantime, it has to be intentional. You have to do the right thing. You have to speak in public. You have to prove yourself with evidences. But then with time, when your Subconscious mind attracts and know it and accept it. You are good to go. You call you anywhere and you go proudly and you speak in public with no fear at all. So that generally addresses the fear as far as public speaking is concerned. At this point, I'd like to take a few questions from you before you go on with the presentation, inshallah. So if you have any question, kindly put it out. Let's address it one at a time. Remember, I said when the opportunity comes for you to speak, snatch it. Give yourself the evidence that you are a public speaker. It is with that that you can say to yourself, you are moving as far as public speaking is concerned. Who is taking the first shot? Yes. Let us stand here.
Thank you very much for your presentation. So my question is, you mentioned clarity. I think I've asked this question several times. I want to ask it again. You mentioned clarity of your message. So if, let's say you just walked in today, and we told you that we are not doing public speaking again. Now talk about generation of existence. So you never knew that we were going to talk about generational existence. So at that moment, now you are speaking on generational existence. You don't know the topic. You weren't prepared. So what do you do about that? Thank you.
Excellent question. So in all, it has to do with impromptu speeches. You are asked to give a speech of something you have no idea about. How do you go about it? So the first one I would say is that honesty tops every single thing, in my opinion. You are asked to speak on a subject. If you entirely have no idea about a subject, quickly tell them that I don't have an idea on this subject. Be honest. But then if you give me the chance, I would like to speak on this rather. It saves you all kinds of energy. I've seen people use this strategy. They give them the topic, they can't talk about it, they know nothing about it. They come and they set their own topic. In my opinion, you failed because the audience is expecting something from you on a particular subject. And then you come and you set your own topic. But then from the onset, if you let them know this is not your field, but you would like to speak on this, now you've moved your mind from there and then you're coming to talk about something else that you've agreed with them. Okay, so be honest to yourself. If you can't talk about it, don't talk about it. Remember I said content is very key. All the information I give you here, after here, if I want to correct it, I'm very certain I'm not going to get each and every person here back like this and correct it. So make sure when you are giving the information, you give the right thing. Let me quickly use this to talk about giving impromptu speeches. With impromptu speeches, you can best do it when you give yourself time. Okay? So maybe let's say, give yourself a month or 2 or 3 months, and you should be very good at impromptu speeches. Read about a lot of subjects. As I stand right now, let's say maybe we change the program and you ask me to talk about time management. Trust me, I can talk about it for 1 hour and more. You ask me to talk about self-discipline, I can go 2 hours. You ask me to talk about hard work, I can do that. But then we come here and then quickly you ask me to talk about zakah. I said, please, that's not my field. And then probably I will find something else. Or you give me a different topic. I save myself the energy. That's not my niche. I hope it's clear. Yes, the next question. The next question. Yes, please. Please stand up.
You are given the chance to speak in public, yes. But when you are to speak, you have the ideas, everything. But how to articulate the words is your problem. I don't know how you can work
Good.
this way.
So you are asked to speak in public. You are given a subject, but how to articulate is the problem. I want to ask a question. Is there something on this earth that you want to do that someone has not done before? I don't know, and I've not seen. For every single thing this our generation wants to, someone has done it before. So there is this rule of thumb: always learn from the best. So you want to do an adventure, you want to do something. You look around and you ask yourself, who is very good at this thing? You go to them and you learn how they do it, and you do it too. Over time, you'll be good as them. So you want to speak in public, you have your ideas. So if I have my ideas, how do I articulate them? Look at people that articulate their points. How do they do it? Look at them and do that and learn for a while. But our problem is that we are waiting for that big stage. We are waiting to have that 500 people in a room before we practice. And that is so wrong. And that's why from the beginning I said that don't look at the number around you. No. I have had 2 hours conversation with just one person before, with 2 people before, with 3 people. I don't really care. All those times I see them as practicing moments for me. So the very same way I'll talk with 1,000 persons, I do the same thing with just 1 person or 2 or 3. I don't really care because it is a practicing ground. For most people that are here, I come for any board meeting, EduCom meeting. My name is Ali Jabri Yahuza, first year geometric engineering student. I said it. My name is Ali Jabri Yahuza, a second year geometric engineering student. I said that till I got to 4th year. Every single meeting, I know you know my name. I'll mention it and mention the program and say something. So with time, you tell yourself you believe that you can do it. And when ideas come, you start articulating it basically with your friends. Like you are just saying, just some few points. You are with your friends, okay? Randomly, talk about it. And as you do, you become good with time. I mean, there are times that I am with friends, out of nowhere, I'll bring the subject of time management. And you see that thing I'll talk about just 2 people, it is the same thing I'll share with 100 persons or people. So you have to prove it to yourself with practice and consistency. It doesn't happen over. You can't wake up one day and you articulate so well with people. No, it takes time. And you have to ensure you do it bit by bit. Yes. Any further questions?
Okay, Assalamu alaikum.
Alayhi salam.
So, in the case where you've prepared, you've done all the preparation, and you are ready to speak, and you're on stage and you're speaking, and all of a sudden the tension increases, right? And then you go blank. So, at that moment, what do? Should you stop speaking and try and get your thoughts back, or you should continue with the speech?
Thank you so much. And I'm very glad that I have actually experienced this before. So, with regards to public speaking and every single thing, there are stages. There are stages where you are a beginner, you are an intermediate, and you are an expert. When it comes to experts in public speaking, them going blank is not their problem. They will certainly have something to say. For someone who is an intermediate, he can also manage it. So for someone who is a beginner, probably I would say is the one who would find troubles when they have blank minds as far as public speaking is concerned. So let me first try to tackle the point where how you can deal with the fact that you will not go blank. Trust me, when you are given a subject to talk on, you have to do the necessary work. You see, most of the things that I'm saying, almost everything that I am saying, I have actually written them down like I was speaking with you guys before coming here. It sounds more like work. What I am doing right now, most of the things that I said from the explanation, I wrote them like I am speaking with someone here. Went over them severally, except that this time around I didn't record and speak. So there are speeches that I give somewhere. I write the topic. If the topic is discipline, I write and start writing about self-discipline. I'll write as though I am interacting with someone. After I am done, I'll summarize everything into points, and then I'll take my phone and start recording and talking like I'm talking with people here. So before the day, I have done more than enough rehearsals to be certain or sure. I doubt that anyone will spend like 5-6 hours to prepare for a speech. You spend about 30-45 minutes, 1 hour. You don't expect to have magic done. You have to put in the work. In a case where you do all the work and then you come and you go blank, remember I said, when you are given the chance to talk about a subject, you, the individual, believe you are good at the subject. That's why you are given the subject. They don't know what you are going to say. You know what you are going to say. No one knows. No one has your script. So if what you've written is gone, then quickly try to find something that would make sense and put it in there And if you don't have much of them, summarize them. It is okay. You are a beginner. Nothing happens. I remember one person, one individual sharing his experience speaking in public. He said he was given like an hour. I mean, it was his first time. He spent just about 25 minutes. It was after that time, I did our train and Asa. The person didn't have anything else to say. So he ended it. But then I remember I said earlier that the one that does not benefit from mistake is the one that doesn't learn from it. Keep that in mind. We all make mistakes, but the one that would indeed benefit from the mistake is the one that will take time to learn from the mistakes. So ensure you do that. I hope your question is answered. Yes, let's take last two questions.
So, if you stand up to speak, what's that one thing you should consciously keep your mind on in order not to feel? Salaam alaikum. So, if you stand up to speak, what's that one thing you should consciously keep in your mind so that you won't get lost as you start to talk?
Okay. So she asked that if you stand up to speak, what is that thing you should keep in your mind so that you don't lose focus? I believe that the intent is very important. Wallahi, each time I get the chance to speak, I don't want to exaggerate, but I feel so privileged that I don't want my audience to feel disappointed that they wasted their time. So I give it my all. So my focus, my everything is on the impact that I am leaving. It's on the impact. So if it's on the impact, you care less about what someone thinks. What you care more about how you can leave that impact. If it's on the impact, then you don't really care about, the mistakes that you are going to make that much. You care about the message that you are leaving. Focus on the message. So if it's our discipline that you are talking about, talk about discipline. Before that, you've already learned, you've already read, you've already practiced. So let that be your focus and keep on speaking. Someone asked that. So if I'm speaking, should I look people in the eyes? I noticed that most people, when they came here and they were speaking, they were looking at me. Do you know why? They were escaping all of you. They were focusing on me because they feel like you are threatening to them. They can't look at you in the eyes and talk. But what can you do to them? Nothing. You pity them if they make mistakes. How many of us here, when I start making mistakes right now, some people will start putting their heads down because they are shy for you. Like people, your audience, they think about you because they certainly they can't do what you are doing. Even though some of them will laugh and stuff. Remember I said, it is you improving upon yourself and then people laughing at you. Make the right choice. If you want to focus on people laughing at you over your own personal development, that is up to you. And after some days, you probably regret it. So if you have problem with looking people in the eyes, as a beginner, I think that you could probably start by looking into some familiar faces. That is why they were looking at me, because I was, interacting and relating what they were saying, and I was laughing and stuff. So they think my face is a bit friendly. So some people that I said they should even look at you, they were still looking at me. So find a familiar face, interact with the person. There will certainly be one or two, okay? And then with time, try to face and talk. Remember, I keep on saying this thing. With time, all these things will be in the past. Like, am I not speaking like this? For once, you know that, just think that there are certain things that at times they were so difficult. Now you do them effortlessly. That's how it is. Public speaking is no different. If you want to be good, just be consistently present and talk. Yes. Last one. Last question. Yes.
My name is Mohammed Miftah Mohammed, second year electrical engineering student. My question is not about public speaking per se, but then I believe that before you get the confidence to start with public speaking, you might start privately. So for example, DAO committee, there are times you go for visitation when we are going out for DAO outreach, and then you'll be required to talk to people. There are people that you don't know. Sometimes you go, the eye contact and even how to start the conversation is a problem. You start talking to somebody and he's looking at you like this, and then you run out of ideas. Yes, or sometimes you want to talk to a friend or the other gender. You don't know how to start or how to go about it when you start, and then you are lack of words and other stuff. So how should we go about that?
All right, thank you. Now, again, I go back to my point. There is nothing on this earth that you are about to do that someone has not done before. You see that very same thing you are saying. There is someone in that team that you are going for that Dawa committee, that room-to-room discussion, and he does that so easily. Am I lying? So look at them and you learn from them. Look at them, how they do it. You ask them, and then you start doing it one by one. You get me? So let me give you a bit of tips regarding that. Each time you are going to speak with someone, for me, most often, what you need to understand is that not all people will be in the right minds to speak with you at all times. There are times that they wouldn't be, right? So it is normal. But all things being equal, they are in the mood to talk with you. How do you address the situation? If you can establish a bit of an informality with them, beat them how they are doing, which is of course normal. And then when you start speaking, let your command over the subject speak for you. There are people just that I know, we go for some of these stuffs. They don't really know the first thing about what they are saying, but they want to do it. That's not where we start from. No. I always advise that if you are going to start an adventure, always ensure that you've expended an amount of time to learn about it before you start. You don't have to learn everything. Know something about it before you start. Else, the response you are going to get for starting will discourage you completely. So maybe you are going to tell them to go on Dawa outreach. Okay? So you go, you explain to them, you greet them, you establish that friendliness with them. And then you start by letting them understand the essence of the Dawa outreach. Okay? You can give them a bit of a small history. So Dawa outreach is a very great program that we have at the end of each semester. I know you may not be privy to it, or it might not be so important to you, but I'll be really glad that you listen to me for just a few minutes. I'm very okay, I can leave, but if you are fine, we can continue our conversation. You get it? You don't push things on people. You give them the choice to listen to you. Please, do you get it? But people go for such programs and you start pouring on them. The Dawa outreach, you have to go. It's very important. You have to go. If you go and then you be doing people by force, they'll zoom out. Always give people the chance to want to do things. In this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, he said that one of the best ways you can have people do things is for them wanting to do it themselves. So each time you are going to have conversation with someone, open the room for the person to accept to speak with you. The very moment you do what I said, I just did, the person doesn't want to leave it, don't continue. You waste your time. Reserve the energy for something else. All right. Yes, last question. Last question. This is the last one. We have the NASA. Son of a time.
Assalamu alaikum. So we said we should make sure we are very audible when we are speaking in the mic. But some places the mics have problems and it's hard to be heard. Or some people have extremely deep voices that makes it hard to hear them. So how do they compensate for this difference in the voice or for the faults in the system that the mic may have?
Okay, so for someone who has a very deep voice, it is not really advisable to let the mic come too close to your mouth. If you can bring it a bit down, that's fine. See, I have a very tiny voice, so if I send it back, it's not helping me. If I send it up here, you can hear me quite audibly. So it depends on you. Whichever way, whatever the problem is, there should be a way around it. So, I don't know, for most times we don't really care. Because, but if you are going to have a very important presentation, ensure the mic is working. ask that question. There are people that when they are going to have MC a program or lead or give a presentation, because they don't have any issue with you, they come with their microphone. Honorable Muntaka is one. I remember a program we had at CAT. He will come with his own microphone to ensure he doesn't have any problem. If you come, the first thing you should ask is your systems working. If they are fine, that's okay. But if you come and realize that the mics are not helping you, if you can't put the mic down and speak audibly for every single person to hear you, because of the mic, a very good message can be very useless. Trust me. If your mic is giving you a problem, you can have a very useless program because the mic is a problem. But then you have a very strong message. So try it out. But in a case where all these things are not fine, it's not your fault. It happens. We are humans. If it doesn't go well, it's one of the days. You can't have a perfect day always. I hope you get it. Thank you. All right. I have a lot more, but because of time, because actually I have not really tackled on how to give an effective presentation, how to even write a complete presentation. When you are given a subject, how to go about the searches, how to bring out your points, summarize them and everything. We've not tackled that. We've not even tackled how to effectively MC a program yet. But this is where I think time would allow us so that we do the presentation, because I believe me talking too much wouldn't have much of an impact than you speaking with me. So the groups of 5, let me see you putting yourself together. I said you should put yourselves in a group of 5. I hope you did that. Please segregate yourself very well so that I see the groups. Segregate yourself very well. Here we can have groups of 3 so that it becomes very simple. The groups of 5, please, quickly. Where is the first group? The first group, please, let me see you here. The first group, because of time, let's hurry up. The first group. Yes. Please, let's clap for them. Let's clap for them. Let's clap for them. How many are you?
Okay, yeah.
Please, let's hurry up. Okay. So this is the first group. Okay. Who is going to represent you and speak on what you actually meant?
Mr. President,
What are we presenting on?
Okay, so I said earlier that you are going to present on all that I've said, what you've learned. Okay? So you know that every single person says something. In just about 15 or 20 seconds, tell me what you've learned. Let's go.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, so for this session, I've actually learned a lot, but the one I actually picked and I'm currently applying it is anytime the opportunity comes, make sure you grab it, okay? Grab it with 2 hands and use it, okay? So I've even planned that anytime I get any opportunity available, even if there's an opportunity to speak, I'll try and create one and speak for myself.
Thank you. And please, if you can next time, hold the mic like I'm holding it. Don't do it like this. Hold it like this, and it puts you together, or it projects you as a very good public speaker. Don't hold it like this. It means you're an amateur or you are beginning at it. Don't hold it like this. Hold it like this, and you can hold it like this. Okay? Not this, like this. Yeah. You can practice it later. Please give it to the guy there. Let's go.
I'm done. What I've learned from the program is you should not be afraid to make mistakes. If you have an opportunity, you should try as much as possible.
All right, thank you. The next person, quickly.
Assalamu alaikum. So throughout the session, what I took from it is we should gather evidences to prove that you are a speaker. You should convince your own self that indeed I am a speaker and I have some experience to prove that I've done some public speaking. Yeah, assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much. Yes, the next person. So please attach that mic because it's the one we are using for the camera.
How do I?
You can just hold it together.
That is.
Yeah.
Okay, I've learned that don't fear to make mistakes. Yes.
Thank you. Briefly, yes, the next person.
So what I've learned is you should always dress for the occasion, maintain composure, and know what you are talking about.
Thank you. I love your hand gestures. Yeah, let's go.
So what I also learned was that whenever you are to give a public message, right, you do well to get the language you are using right. You prepare well before coming. In the case of the language, there should be clarity as well. You should look at the people you are coming to present to, the language that they understand, and then prepare well in that language so that you don't find yourself fumbling. Just like the others said, you dress well before coming because dressing speaks a lot about you and then it even gives you more confidence.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's clap for them. Please, you can have your seat. Can have your seat. Yes, the next group, the next group, the next group. Quickly. Yes.
Within 20 seconds. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Alex Salam.
From the program, yeah, from the program, I've learned a lot, especially public speaking really entails, and it has invisible skills that we have to add them and then pragmatically. And then also from the gestures, you have to have eye contact with your audience, and then if possible, you can add stories to your content, making it more interesting.
Okay, so I'll tackle that later, the story aspect. So let's go.
So,
Alex Salam.
my name is Jawad, and I've learned a lot from my boss Ali Jabir's presentation. And for the language part, he has mentioned that we should make sure we are very comfortable with what we say, with what we speak. It's like he used English because it's what we are all comfortable with, right? From primary one, we've been forced to speak English, even though it's another man's language. And then for clarity, the audience shouldn't have a misconception or confusion about what you are saying. It should be straight to the point, right? And he talked about content to. We should imagine I come here and I tell you that I'm going to call you to the life of Christ. I'm going to tell you that Jesus is here to save you. You are not going to pay attention to me because we are all Muslims. And then our appearance, as you can see, our bosses here, they are all affirming, and that has to do with the dressing and the composure. You have to look good.
All right, thank you. The next person. The next person. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alex Salam.
Okay, I've learned that you do that thing, you make a mistake, and you learn from it.
Again,
Please
take your hands off your pockets, put it by your side, and use them.
Okay, I've learned that you do that thing, you make a mistake, and you learn from it.
Thank you. Thank you. Next person.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alex Salam.
Now, I've also learned that you shouldn't be afraid when you are talking to people because 90% of your audience do not even know how to talk in public, so you should never be afraid talking to your audience. Secondly, I've learned that whenever you are going to host any public speaking program, you should ask whether the microphone is working. If not, a very good message can turn very bad. Thank you.
You're welcome. Is that all? All right, thank you so much. You can have your seat. Yes, the next group, the next group, the next group.
We are one of them.
Let's go.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum.
I have to introduce myself.
Not really.
Okay. So I learned that the gestures are not just your hand movements, but also how you control your volume, when you bring your volume up or when you take it down. Now that's
Excellent. I love that. Let's go.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum.
I've also learned that the only person who doesn't learn from mistakes is the one, or who doesn't benefit from mistakes is the one who doesn't learn from the mistakes that you made. So that's my takeaway.
Assalamu alaikum. So I also learned that being a public speaker actually starts from the mind. And then one way in which you can start from your mind is by psyching up yourself that whatever that you are doing in front of the people at that time or in that moment, you are best fit for doing that.
Exactly. Thank you.
Well, if I didn't learn anything at all, I learned that in public speaking it's like any other habit where you must continuously provide yourself with evidence that you can really do that thing. Thank you.
Thanks.
Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
And please, what I learned was that the language in which you are presenting, in the content you are presenting, your appearance and your gestures all come together to constitute the confidence you put up when you are speaking in public. And also with the gestures, you should always try to stress on important aspects of your delivery when you are speaking in public. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please, let's clap for them. The next group. Wonderful.
Okay, Bismillah. One key thing I've learned from this session is that confidence.
So quickly. So you see, you used one key.
Yeah.
So you could stress on it. One key thing.
Okay.
Like you get a thing, it brings it out very well. Let's move on.
Okay, so one key thing I've learned from this session is that confidence is not about being perfect.
And you remove your hand from your pocket.
Okay, it's about being prepared and then authentic. And I also learned that effective public speaking starts by understanding your message, believing in it, and then delivering with calmness and clarity.
Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
One basic thing I learned is that when you are invited to a program, to prevent issues, bring your own mic.
That is, if you can, it is the best. And if you can't, ensure it's working.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, my name is Abdul Karim Shaban. I'm a data science student from KSTU. Thank you very much for this wonderful presentation. Actually, what I learned a lot of things, and what I wanted to say, people have already said it, so I will say a different thing. One thing that I learned was that there is always one thing that we are all afraid of. So we should all challenge ourselves always to face that fear. Because if you don't face that fear, you are never going to improve. Thank you very much.
Thank you, His Excellency. Really grateful for that.
One thing I've learned is that you should appear nicely when you are about to deliver a presentation. And dressing place is very what you know you are public speaking.
All right.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam.
Actually, I've learned a lot, and then what I've learned is that whenever they are giving you opportunity to come and deliver any speak, you must know that you are the champion or you are the master of that subject that you are supposed to come and to put it in mind.
Correct. So have it in mind that it's a mental shift, not a reality. Believe that you are very good at it to help you present excellently. Thank you very much for that one. Please, you can have your seat. The next group, quickly. The next group. You would think that what we are doing right now is very basic, but you'll be surprised at the insidious benefit of it. Trust me. With time, it is very good. Let's go, please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
This is what I learned from what you said.
Please bring your hand in front of you. Don't do like this.
You should be prepared. You should prepare well before you come and speak. And also the gestures. You should position yourself and look at, you should consider what you are saying, and thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
What I learned is that public speaking, you should be confident, you should become over your fears, and then you should use language that is clear to everyone. And then your address should be also be show what you are going to do it. Maybe I'm going to present on maybe food. You should be dressed how it represents what you are coming to do. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Hold the mic as you at the bottom. Now face the people.
So what I learned is that as a public speaker, you should be confident, you should become over your fears, and then how you dress, you should be speaking clear language that is understood by everyone.
All right, thank you. The next person. So you come, you face the audience, and you speak.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alayhi salam.
Yes, what I learned through the presentation was.
Please don't look at me, look at them.
Okay, what I learned throughout the presentation was if you are a new speaker, then you are free. You can decide to choose among the audience, those the familiar faces you see among the audience. You can look at them, then you speak to them. And also, I learned that you should be audible as possible. You should make sure that the people that you are talking to, they understand what you are saying, and you should also be prepared for what you are about to say. Salaam
Alayhi salam. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alayhi salam.
I came a bit late, so what I met was you said as a public speaker, before you go on stage, you have to prepare very well. So make sure you practice. Make sure you practice what you are going to speak on. And after that, if they have a video, you go back and watch it and watch the mistakes that you've made and correct it. So next one, you improve upon them.
Thank you very much. I really love this portion. Please go back to the speeches that you've given. Have time to listen to them and correct the mistakes and improve. Yes.
No, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Please, what I learned from today's section is one who doesn't benefit from his mistake doesn't learn from his previous mistakes.
Means that if you learn from your mistake, you benefit from them. Thank you.
Now, okay, so I came in late, but I learned something. So I learned that the message that you are going to give should be clear and then audible. And also, the mic system, the mic might operate well as well to ensure and a better program. Yeah. So that's what I learned.
All right, thank you. I love your clarity. Yes, the next person. Guys, that's the last group, right? The guys. Okay, please, let's hurry up. Please make it brief for me because of time.
Assalamu alaikum. Actually, I really benefited from the seminar. And among the things that I learned is that if you improve daily at a rate of 1%, by the end of the year, you have improved by 37.77%. And again, to be a great speaker, you must firstly be a great speaker in the head. Then you must make yourself available and grab the opportunities to make evidences. Then the summation of all the 4 rules will make you confident. And that confidence is not something that you sit down to build. Yeah, that's what I need.
Thank you very much. And I like how you held the mic. Thanks.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam.
I actually learned that if after you have improved to 37.77% a year and then you improve by 1% daily, you end up being 0 again.
So it's your choice. If you want to be 0 or 37.7% better.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
I learned that you have to be intentional. So with intentionality, you improve on it and you will be an effective public speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Nafi.
Assalamu
alaikum. Salam.
One key takeaway that I'm going home with is the Pareto principle. That is, wherever you find yourself, there are 100% and then 80% is below the average or the average, and then the 20% is above the average. So wherever I find myself, I have to be among the 20%.
Great, thanks.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
I learned that
your hands off your pockets.
I learned that you have to do research on the content that you are being given. You have to master your language and be clear.
Now say that what you said, but don't look at me. Look at them.
Okay. You have to do research on the content that you are being given, and you have to master your language and be clarity.
All right, that's great. Thank you so much. Let's clap for them. I think we are done with the guys, right? We are done with the guys. Now the ladies, let's have you. Let's have you. Please, I want the ladies to stand here. I don't want them to come here. So the ladies, come and stand here as well. The first group, The first group. The first group.
So I've really learned so much from this presentation, and notable among them was the fact that you don't really have to care much about your mistakes or whether people are laughing at you during your presentation. This is as a result of the fact that you need to weigh down whether as to your self-improvement is better than that of people laughing at you, or maybe they criticizing you in any way, and that choice lies on you. I also learned that the same amount of energy and effort we put in when we talk to two or more people, people that we are familiar with, is the same thing that we can also channel when we meet large group of people. Thank you.
Wonderful. Welcome. The next person.
All right, salaam alaikum. After this section, I learned that one should have the courage to speak in public, even he or she made a mistake. You have to be fluent in talking.
Have to be fluent. It takes time. Thank you so much. The last person.
Okay, so what I learned is that if you are chosen, you should believe you are the best at it. And even if there's someone, you know there's someone who is better than you are, you should just believe that you are better at it. That's why you are chosen. And also there should be clarity. You should be clear in whatever you are saying.
All right. Thank you so much. Please give it to the next person. If they are done, the next group should come. The next group should come. The next group should come.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Well, my reflection is in 3 sections. Firstly, what you do before you come, right? You have to understand your message and know your audience. That's the only way you can effectively pass your message to them. Then when you are doing the speech, right, first of all, embody your message. Let yourself look like you understand what you are trying to preach. When you do that, it's easy to let other people understand what you are trying to say, right? So nobody can stress you. Well, when you are done, it's important to take criticism, right? But only the positive ones. And then go back and reflect. Look at what you've said and look at what you can do better. And look at what you've done better and what you can continue to do better on it. Thank you very much.
Okay, I learned that when you are given the opportunity to speak, you have to speak up. And also, when you speak, try to record yourself. Thank you.
And listen to them later and improve. It follows. Good. Yes.
Okay, I learned that the fear of people laughing at you, you have to be intentional about improving yourself rather than people laughing at you. Yeah.
Okay. Intentional about your improvements than people listening or laughing at you. Yes. The next person or the next group.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
I learned that before you be a good public speaker, you need to practice and then take the courage to do what you want to do and then make mistakes. That's the only way you will be able to learn from those mistakes and then correct them next time. Thank you.
Sure, thanks. The next person.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
I learned that being a public speaker, not just a public speaker, but an effective one, begins with you psyching your mind, and that whatever you do, you have to be intentional about it. And besides, there is nothing that we can do as far as we put our mind on it and then we are ready to pay the sacrifice. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
So I also learned that the first thing you have to do when it comes to public speaking is to psych your mind well, to know what you're coming to talk about, hold the content within you, focus on the message, and then when you make a mistake, own them so that you can go back to them and correct them. And always try to record whatever you are giving out to people so that you can go back to them, pay attention to the mistakes you make, and then correct them. That's what I learned.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum.
What I learned is that as much as public speaking is concerned, your dressing is very important. And then the way you present yourself, the confidence, your voice, and all that is very important. Thank you.
Great. You're welcome.
Okay, salam alaikum. What I've learned about public speaking is that it shouldn't just be the number of people you are speaking to, or wait until they call you to the podium because before you call it public speaking. Friends of two or three, when you are able to express yourself among them, it's called public speaking also. And also, you should try to record yourself anytime you are speaking, so that after which you then listen to yourself and make corrections. Thank you.
Hey, how are you doing? Okay, salam alaikum. Okay, so what I learned is that one should be confident when speaking, and if you are not, like you just fish out one person you are comfortable with and just be staring at the person. So as time goes on, you can be looking at the rest too and be talking.
All right. Thank you. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So from today's presentation, one thing I've learned and is going to stay with me for a while is being a good public speaker doesn't mean you're perfect. It doesn't mean you make no mistake. It doesn't mean you're going to be the best in the room. Even the best of the best make mistake. Even like the greatest people of all time, they are still they are still learning. So every day we keep learning something new. We keep becoming better. You're not supposed to be the same person as yesterday, but hope to become better than today. So I hope we all learn from this and become better than we are today. Thank you very much.
You are welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope and pray that all that we've learned to be put into practice. Remember, the difference between the person who was not here and you that you expended your time to be present is implementation. I take it again. The difference between the person who was not here and you that you expended time to come here is implementation. If you leave here and you don't implement all that you learned, it is complete waste of time. If you want to learn how to completely write a speech and give them correctly, you can read this book, Speak with Power and Confidence by Patrick Collins. It's a very huge book. If you have time and read it, you are going to benefit immensely. Speak with Power and Confidence by Patrick Collins is one great book that I believe when you read it, you'll be able to learn a lot as far as writing a speech and delivering them is concerned. Inshallah. Thank you so much. My name again is Ali Jabri Yahuza. It has been a wonderful time with you all. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much, Ali Jabir Yahuza. I hope we've learned a lot. Like we've seen ourselves that this session wasn't just a presentation, but an interactive one, a practical one. We thank you very much. May Allah reward you abundantly. We also have a special guest here by the name Al Hassan Adam Garma, and he would like to brief us more on public speaking, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Thank you very much for this honorable privilege on this August occasion. If I don't use the word August, some people will beat me. Anyways, it is indeed a great time to be with you all here. And Ali Jarrett did a wonderful job to teach us on public speaking. And before I go further, the MC did something that was very, very amazing. When he was introducing me, he mentioned my noble school, and he said small KNUST. My school is small to you. Anyways, I'm a product of Kumasi Technical University. If you see me here, it is not based on school or anything. Maybe they might see a potential within me that they think I might, or I should share with one or two people. So I'm throwing a challenge to you all. If you are in KNUST and you are getting such privilege, and somebody from a small school, Kumasi Technical University, gets to sit on the high table, get to present before you, and you cannot do public speaking, then I think there is a problem somewhere. Anyways, I didn't just wake up one day and then I started public speaking. It never happened that way. A lot of people see me or call me and then shower me with praises when it comes to public speaking. It all boils back to 2016. When I mentioned 2016, I know some of us were in primary and other things. But back then, I was SHS graduate. I came for 1 year program. And there was a single day that I was called to give public speaking, to come and then do MCing. Ladies and gentlemen, I fumbled this chance. I couldn't do anything, and I held it within my heart that I will do better next year. So that started in 2016, 10 years now, right? So fast forward, last year we held a camp, and I was indeed the camp director, the one who was in charge of everything. I took everything in my hand. I learned public speaking not because of passion, not because of anything, but because of shame. In fact, I felt ashamed to the extent that I couldn't do anything. So I don't know your reason for public speaking, but I will urge each and everybody to do 1 or 2 public speaking. It will help them very, very well. And if there is one thing that I should acknowledge with, it will be with MCing. And it is one of the easiest way to make money and then gain popularity. Can you imagine people will call you and go like, oh, Al Hassan, we beg you, please come and host our program for us. You just go and take the mic, you will talk. At the end of the day, they give you money and they will give you food also. So public speaking is one thing that I'll urge each and everybody to learn. And the person who has done the most today is the MC. And can we give her a hand of applause, please? I'm really, really, really proud of her. She did very, very well. And if she is to MC tomorrow, she will not start from ground zero. She will start with experience. It also reminds me of the class. I quite remember editorial board meeting. We used to come here and then everything. You call a class to come and do public speaking and then she will run away. If I remember one thing again, she did host a program here with Ubuntu, right? Shaken. Fast forward, he is the SRC president. So there's a chorus among us. Do you have any ambition for SRC? There's a chorus. Because Shaken was sitting behind me, the General Assembly, when they came for like 100. Fast forward, he is the SRC president. Imagine if I didn't speak to him. Alhamdulillah, today you see me and go like, oh, son of Adam. And I'm very, very proud. The SRC president for the noble institution of KNUST knows me. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't need a big platform or a big program for you to start. And I'll always reference Vomied as an example. There were days that I will march to people, give them the mic to come and start public speaking. A lot of people run away. To an extent, I forced some people to come and do public speaking. There was a day Honorable Mutaka Mubarak walked in. One lady who vowed not to do public speaking came to me and she said, I want to do public speaking. Of all days, that Honorable Mutaka Mubarak abana yeni abrina ye pesta. So that now person start to public speaking. We didn't give her the chance, not because we want to, but we had our boss here who could do better, so we gave him the chance to do it. And dressed very well.